Welcome to Soapy. I'm Rebecca Budig.
And I'm Greg Rikaart.
Oh, well, Greg, our guest today,
Yes.
Peter Bergman, really needs no introduction. But he has played Jack Abbott's, oh, yes, there he is. He's so strikingly handsome. He has played Jack Abbott on CBS's Young the Restless for 36 years.
Correct.
And before that, where I know him from, he played Cliff Warner on ABC's All My Children for a decade.
That's right. 3 Emmy Awards, 24 nominations. When I think of Peter Bergman, I think of the quintessential soap star. He's dignified, he's handsome, he's intelligent. We should also mention he is currently starring in Apple TV's Pluribus.
Yes.
His first role outside of Young and Restless in over 20 years.
Well, I don't know if you saw it, but he really is.
I did see it.
He's just as like handsome and talented and amazing.
He's wonderful. We're very, very excited that Peter is joining us today.
Super excited.
But I don't want to let this moment pass, Becky Jo, without acknowledging something. A little birdie told me, and that birdie was you, that your very first episode of Guiding Light aired on this very day, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So happy anniversary, congratulations.
Thanks.
What a career.
It's 30 years, which is kind of nuts, but it's no Peter Bergman.
You're getting
but,
there.
You know,
you're getting there.
Whatever. I can only aspire. Anyway.
We'll be right back with the incredible Peter Bergman. Peter Bergman, welcome to Soapy.
Fantastic to be here.
Oh, it's just thrilling to see you, to have you here.
I'm so excited you're here. I watched you on All My Children. That's how far back I go.
Yeah. That's how far back. I left All My Children 36 years ago.
Really?
How old does that make you?
Well,
no, I'm sorry.
Don't ask.
But yeah. And I watched you on All My Children.
Well, that's very sweet.
Yeah.
That's very sweet. I loved Cliff and Nina. That was like probably your first experience as a super couple, I guess, because that was
my first experience as a super couple, and that, of course, was the years of, the crest of the daytime wave. We didn't know it at the time that daytime would never be bigger than that. It was just completely crazy, and Taylor and I weathered that together, and still have a lifelong friendship.
Do you?
And that was
so sweet.
81 to 89. Am I getting that right?
From 1979 to 1989.
Wow.
All My Children.
Wow. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was because Taylor was ready to pursue other...
It was a confluence of things that happened at exactly the right or wrong time. The wrong time, as I was not ready to go. These were my family at the time. I had really made some wonderful friendships there, and the absolute right timing because it landed me on Young and the Restless.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, gosh, I thought, you know what, I'll get this job, I'll get used to LA for 6 months and they'll fire me. Replacements did not work well on All My Children. It didn't work. And so,
36, is it 36 years now?
36 years.
Wait, there's a lot to unpack in those 36 years.
There's so much to talk about.
Yeah.
But honestly, we just jumped right into All My Children.
I'm here with Greg Rikaart. I can talk for hours.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I told Peter when I saw him in the hallway before this, the thing I miss most about seeing you on the regular is the run-ins we'd have in the hallways, and sometimes it would be a week between them, and sometimes it would be a month between them, and we'd have these great catch-ups. So this might go a while because we have a lot to talk about.
I'm so happy to be hanging with you.
Thrilled. So when it ended, and I will never forget being in Target in West Hollywood and getting a phone call from you shortly after I found out that I was going to be leaving Young and Restless before I was ready to. And I think it's taken me a moment to realize that in many ways, our trajectories mirror one another. I was at a place for a long time that I was happy to stay at, forced out of it, but then very quickly found myself in a place that I'm supposed to be at and thriving at. And so it's very similar to your experience going from one show to the other.
It's a pretty unique experience to go from a character as popular as yours was on Young and the Restless, and then go have that kind of success on another show. It's a small handful of people.
Yeah, well, you, I think, led the charge there because it's exactly what happened with you.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But what was there any lag time between leaving All My Children and coming out to LA?
people ask, so wait, how long have you been doing daytime? And my answer is that in 46 years, I was, in terms of a paycheck, unemployed for 8 days in 46 years.
Incredible.
8 days?
Eight tough days. I mean, I want credit for that.
They were hard days. And in between all that, you did that famous commercial that, I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV. And you said that put your kids through college.
That literally did
Incredible.
put my kids through college.
That is insane.
Yeah, that was nuts. That was the old days of commercials.
Yes.
And you'd get a check in the mail that said the air date. So it would say, June 10th, June 14th, June 16th. I would get checks from VIX that said June 10, 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 June 11, June 11, June 11, June 11, June 11, June 11. They would just go on and on. It was just
It's a
nuts.
great
While I was on all
commercial.
my children, while I was working. Yeah.
Was that one spot that you did that just ran for it, or
It
did
was
you do?
one day of work.
Amazing.
I love it. And people still use that. I mean, I always say that
Well,
to people.
they
I'm like,
abused it for a while. For a while, it was a really good joke for lots of people. I remember Mary Ellen was pregnant with Connor, and we were sitting in bed watching I don't know what, and who was the comedian? Came on and said, "Oh, and these commercials with these celebrities, Martha Ray, blah, blah, blah. This guy, I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV. I've watched it on TV. You're not very good on TV either. Ha ha ha." And,
Where is he today?
Yeah.
well, my kids got to go to college.
There we go.
That's so amazing.
I say that, but it probably adds up to 4 years of college for 2 kids.
Incredible.
So crazy.
Okay,
Doesn't happen now.
So you, not necessarily kicking and screaming, but you were content in New York, and I think the move to LA was not.
Oh, truly kicking and screaming. No, you're right.
Okay.
Kicking and screaming. I did not want to leave New York. It was, we both love New York so much that leaving that was just, let me do a quick story. I came out here to audition. They wanted me to audition. The first thing they did, they called and asked my agent how tall I was. And I was still on All My Children, and I said, I don't even call them back. What is that? I'm not sure I want to do another soap opera. I'm not sure I definitely don't want to replace anybody, and I don't think I want to live in California. I came out here and auditioned when Mary Ellen was 8.5 months pregnant with our daughter. And I auditioned, and they were supposed to tell me within 2 weeks, and I got back. And I went to the gym one morning and came back, and Mary Ellen said, "You have a message." And it said, "It's F. Scott from Young and the Restless. Give me a call." And so I thought, that is the most pretentious thing. He calls himself F. Scott. And I called, and it was Ed Scott, the famous Ed Scott.
Yeah, I know. But you got it wrong. You said
so
F.
I got it
Scott.
wrong.
Oh
So I asked for F. Scott, and he said, "No, it's Ed Scott, and you got the job. I'm not supposed to tell you. Your agent's supposed to tell you, but my wife's also pregnant." So anyway, that's kind of how it happened. Anyway, Mary Ellen was sitting next to me. I remember exactly where we were, and we wept like babies. We're leaving New York. Oh my God, we're leaving New York. And I came out to California in absolutely the wrong way. I came out and compared the two, and I'm from New York, and what is this cultural wasteland they have out here, and oh, what an awful place, and blah, blah.
And this is interesting because you were lived in 8 places before 8th grade?
Yeah,
So
I
you were
moved
accustomed to
around a lot,
moving.
and I think that speaks to just that. I was a Navy brat, and we moved around a whole lot. And I think home means something different in my adulthood. But had I to do it all over again, I would have embraced this job. I would have bought a surfboard and bought a set of golf clubs and just said, "You're in California now, do California."
When you say if you had to do it over again, why? How did it affect you having that kind of attitude?
I think I didn't trust that this job would last. I was I don't know. It was their company. I wasn't in this company. It wasn't made easy for me. The people I worked with were really very fond, I think, of Terry Lester, the fellow who played the role before, and that's as lonely as I've ever been working. It was 6 months of I don't know if I'm going to break in here. I don't know if this is going to happen, and
it's a tough, especially when the first place you're at. And I think we all had that shared experience of the two of you on All My Children and me at Young and Restless, where
I will never have that again.
Yes, I certainly felt that, but also beyond that, and we've talked about this ad nauseum. I'm sorry for the audience who has to hear it again, but the place where you're at, where a lot of the life milestones happen, whether you get married, buy a home, become a parent, those people feel like family because you're going through those experiences with these people that you're spending all your time with.
I agree with that.
And I think we've all had that experience too of then going somewhere new and figuring out, where do I fit in this place? And it takes a minute to really feel ingratiated.
You're only kind of half nodding here.
No, it does take a minute.
Were you smart enough to know this isn't my family, this is my work? But age appropriate behavior is in your 30s. You're thinking, this is life. Yeah. These are my people. This is home.
Yes.
This is no, it's not. It's a job.
I know, but I do think that you do have these life experiences. Like I was on All My Children for, I don't know, all told, I guess 9 years, and I did go through a lot of life experiences and felt like that I'll never have that again. And I don't, in some ways I haven't really had that again because that's that moment in time, right?
And maybe you don't need it again as a grown woman.
Yes, you don't. It is different. I've replaced someone who was really well beloved on Bold and the Beautiful. And so it is weird to kind of come into that fold and try and see where you fit. You're a different person altogether. So you're not going to be that person. And it is. So.
And it is the specificity of this genre. When you come onto a canvas, there's not 5 other series regulars. There's 30 other series regulars.
Who all have 2 names.
Yes.
Their name and their character's name. Wow.
Yeah, it's nice when there's a Billy playing Billy or a...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sharon Case.
Yes,
we love Sharon Case. Sharon Case plays Sharon.
You know who's getting called to set. You know who's getting called to set. So those 6 months were challenging. When did it start to feel like home? Both at work and in California.
This is embarrassing to say this, but I won my first Emmy on that show. Here, I'll tell you the whole story.
Okay.
I won my first Emmy on that show after I'd been there for about 1.5 years.
Okay.
And it was a powerful surprise. The All My Children people in the audience were going completely crazy. The Young and the Restless, it was deafening. It was the craziest experience. It really was. And the following year, I won again. And we met our friends. We were meeting at Sarah Beth's kitchen, and we had to walk from our hotel past All My Children. And they were tearing the building down. I've got 2 Emmys on this show. This should be home. You grab it. Make it your own. I stood there and looked at this pile of bricks and wept like a baby. It was just a horrible feeling. And it was as if the world was saying, without writing on the wall, Peter, it's 2.5 years now. It's over. Move on. Get on with your life. I have breakfast with Ibbotts and Bill, our friends, and I then go to have lunch with James Mitchell. And so I walked over there and hung with James and Albert for a while, and then I went back to my hotel room, and there was on the table a brick that Mary Ellen brought home. It's in my dressing room today. Yeah, it was so powerful for me, that the loss of that job. It was just an amazing experience that Clearly, I think I'm over it, but it
Peter,
it brings up.
I think there's something really special about that group of people. And now I was there way past you, but there was a real warm, loving,
It was
family
amazing.
environment.
Yes, it was.
That crew,
It
most of that
was.
crew was there from the beginning.
I tell people at my job, and I love my cast, don't get me
I
wrong,
know.
I really do. But I said, I've told them, when I was at all my children, I'm telling you, we would be standing in the makeup room, all of us, watching a scene saying, oh my God, oh my God.
We
The
would.
scene's
We
over,
would.
there's 4 people
would.
running out to the set to say, oh my God, you were so good.
Yes.
Yeah, that happened. That happened a good deal.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was leaving that. And yeah, anyway, it kind of worked out okay.
Yeah, it worked out okay.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah,
we
I
can
have that
both
brick in my
understand.
dressing room right now. Yeah, I have a piece of all my children with me always. Yeah.
Okay, so you're in LA, and after the 2 Emmys, are you finally like, okay?
So I think your original question is, when did you feel like
Yeah,
you were at home?
yeah.
And I think the first Emmy kind of, wait, this is actually mine. This
Yeah.
is I'm here, and I think I convinced myself that I was this was my new life, and everything's great. And then what I just told you happened.
Did Mary Ellen have an easier acclimation to California?
Yes, Mary Ellen had 2 small children, and she had a very clear idea of what her life was about. And I was kind of foundering, trying to figure out how this was going to work. This is a weird place, you know, and would go back to New York at every opportunity. And yeah, had I to do it over again, oh, just embrace it. It's your new life. Just do it.
Well, when we met, you had certainly embraced it by then, because I remember my first memories of you are, I feel like you were always in running clothes, and whether you were
Yeah.
running to work or no, you would bike ride, right, with Don.
With Don Deal
Yeah.
once. Yeah, yeah.
So by the time we met, you had embraced the outdoor living that happened to you in LA.
I've been a runner for I had been a runner for a very long time, 28 years, and then the bicycling thing was about Don and I were going to, with a group of 4 of us, were going to ride across the country and raise money for multiple sclerosis that his niece had.
Wow.
Had been diagnosed with, and
Did you do
and
that?
then how's that? No, we didn't. 9/11 happened. And bringing people together as we go across the country seems not a good idea.
Yeah.
So that kind of fell apart. But yeah, we used to ride over from Encino, ride over a mountain range to,
Oh, that's right.
to
You
go
know
to
what?
work.
Don told me that story,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Don told that story.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, oh, that sounds familiar for some reason. And
Yeah.
he said you would ride over, then you'd ride back, and you'd be complaining about, or he would be complaining about riding. He's like, was this a good idea? At the end of the
idea was
day, at
this?
the end of a day, when you've been acting all day.
I would not many times, but a few times I would be like, I'm gonna be adventurous, and I'm gonna ride my bike down into the basin, which is a breeze to get there,
Yeah.
because I'm sort of in the hills. So
Yeah,
the
yeah,
ride
yeah.
there is it. And then coming home, I would navigate every which way. What's the lowest elevation I have to go up in order to go down?
As a runner, I learned, no matter how far you go down, you're going the same amount up. I don't care where you go.
Yeah.
You're going to do the same elevation getting
Yeah.
back home. And bicycling, boy, do you learn that.
Yeah.
You've spoken about your relationship with Eric Braeden before. So maybe was that
There was tension there.
was
There
that
was a lot.
hard?
There was a lot of
Did
tension
that make
there.
it harder? I
Yeah,
guess,
you know,
because he's the lead
in
of the
fairness
show.
to Eric, Jack Abbott wasn't kind of naturally who I was. Today he is. At the time, Jack was a real cad. He was a womanizing, manipulating cad of a guy. He was not very kind. And so for me, it required that I kind of steel myself in a way that I could bring some cocky to the set. And so I brought a lot of cocky to the set. And I'm sure Eric probably looked over and thought, who is this? Mr. Cocky here. And Eric and I always worked very differently. And so early on, there was some real conflict there. Yeah, it was
So
very
that probably
tough.
made the transition a little
Yeah,
harder.
yeah, and that definitely made the transition harder. And I worked pretty exclusively with Eric and Melody for my first 2 years there, besides the Abbott family part of it. And it was an experience. We're great friends today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get along very well today,
sure
and
after-
are very proud of this. Probably the oldest enmity in all of television.
Oh, I mean, the journey that you've taken together.
How's that?
The journey that you've taken
The journey
together,
we've
the
taken together,
characters.
I'm also very proud of. Yeah.
So, you're leading ladies on the show, right? And forget me if I'm missing anybody. But we have Melody, Michelle, and Susan.
And Susan.
And are there? Do you think of them as your three?
Yeah, I was married to Sharon for a while. I
yeah,
was married to I was married to a few of them. Each of them has brought. Yeah, it sounds so strange, but you know what we do. Each of them, Jack Abbott has changed.
Yeah.
With each one, I always want to play a character who keeps growing and changing, and
Sure.
and each one has taught Jack real lessons. Yeah.
What do you equate chemistry to?
I don't get chemistry. I just know when somebody's really easy to work with. I can feed off of her.
Yeah.
I can look at her and know where she's going, and she can look at me and trust me completely and know where it's going, and it's just one of my favorite things. I will also say one of my favorite things to play, and I always have to be careful about this because I have a wife and who I love very much, but one of my favorite things to play as an actor is falling in love. Oh. Most people get to do this once, maybe twice in their lifetime, and I've done it a bunch of times. And
It's fun.
Where she
And
walks in the room,
yeah.
the room changes.
Yeah.
Everything changes when she walks in the room. I love to play that.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's
Yeah.
so incredible. I also think it's just about when you're with someone that you have a chemistry with, you really listen to each other.
Yeah.
You're really talking to
Yeah.
each other. I
Yeah.
think there's just something really magical about that.
Yeah,
Because a lot of times people are thinking about their lines or whatever, but if you can really look at somebody and really talk, it's special.
And they give you different challenges with each person. Michelle Stafford's character and my character were about the least likely people to be put together. We both were. They're really going to do this, okay? And it turned into this wonderful adventure for quite a while.
Yeah.
A lot of years.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, no, I just blanked. I was going to, you go ahead. What?
If you're while you recover from whatever that was.
Well, I just look at it and I get a little lost.
One of the things that has come up, well, we talked to Melody about this. Because recently your last Emmy nomination was for that standalone episode that the two of you did together.
Yeah, crazy.
That's what I was going to ask him about.
Crazy.
Wow,
That's what I was
see?
going to ask
We
him about.
have,
See?
we're
It
just-
was mental telepathy.
But what I was going to say is, has your process, or when you play something that is a version of something you've played before, do you sort of just say, oh, I've got this in my back pocket, or do you sort of approach the new storyline, the new challenge as always a new?
I am genuinely still terrified of every new big giant turns. Can I do this? I think I can do this. I can. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can pull this off. But yeah, when they ask you to do the whole episode, I definitely spent a lot of time thinking, can we do this? Can I do this?
Can we talk about that whole episode? There was an episode where Peter was with Melody Thomas Scott's character, Nikki, right?
Nikki.
And she was an alcoholic, and you were trying to get her to stop drinking.
It was
right?
clear
a recovery.
she was going on the worst bender I'd ever seen, Jack had ever seen. And he was worried she'd kill herself.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned in another interview that you were really happy to be able to do that episode because you had a friend in life that had passed away from alcoholism,
abuse, yeah.
alcohol abuse, and so it gave you an opportunity to really do the things that you felt like you could have done.
Yeah, two
so
things
crazy.
kind of played into that. Yes, I lost my friend Michael to alcohol, my closest friend I ever had in my life, and it was just staggering to watch. And I spent a lot of years wondering what I might have done, could have maybe jumped in there and fixed it and everything. Similarly, when Jack, in those early days, when Jack was married to Nikki, was when the alcohol really started. And Jack was an enabler. And Nikki just got worse and worse and worse, and everything fell apart from then. And so Jack, being her sponsor, is an opportunity to rewrite history, to somehow redeem himself. And so that would charge scenes a lot, but that was crazy. That was really. I did 3 other shows that week.
Wow.
3 other episodes that week.
Who directed that episode?
That episode was Owen.
Owen.
Yeah.
We love Owen.
Yeah.
Owen Renfro.
Owen, yeah, fantastic
Director.
man. Fantastic man.
And do you like to have a lot of collaboration with Josh, or do you just...
I don't collaborate ever with a head writer. I started with Agnes Nixon. I went to Bill Bell. I never want to talk about my character with a head writer. I want my head writer to tell me what I'm playing next. And that's what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have those conversations. I'm impressed with people who know so much about where things are going. My gosh. Oh, so that's where it's going.
I'm
Yeah.
like you. I
Yeah.
kind of just
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
well, I don't see this coming, but oh well.
I say this is the puzzle. I'm this piece. So I'm not going to suddenly decide this piece should be here or here or here. It's if you tell me it's there, that's where it is.
Yeah.
I trust you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned it very early on at All My Children. She's really not interested in where you think your character should go. If I've ever had talks with a head writer, it's to say, this is a turn that kind of ignores some history. Is this a full turn for the character that just extends? Or is he's, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where this runs counter to what I've been playing for a very long time, but I'm also always kind of challenged by that. Oh, we're going in a whole new direction. Oh, I can do that. Yeah.
I always feel too, particularly if there's a change in the guard of writers, I always say it's like a building. And the foundation, or however many floors were put in place by the previous writer, we're just adding a floor. And then, yes, every once in a while there'll be something being like, well, there's a staircase here. Are we going to make sure it also goes up, or are we building a new building? What's happening?
It's just a whole new thing. Is this one writer one dialogue writer's idea of where this is going, or is this your idea?
Yes.
And whatever he says is great by me.
Yeah.
It's funny the things that add up to a long history on the show are things that really are out of your control. I did not know when I took this job that I was part of a core family on a show. I did not know that the fellow that played my father, Jerry Douglas, would die on the show, thereby making me de facto head of a family. Oh, wow. So that means that changes Jack too.
Sure.
We talk about that a lot, about like aging in soaps, how you start out, you're the ingenue, and then all of a sudden you're
the
like
matriarch.
the matriarch on the show.
Yeah.
Like, I have
And no one
grandchildren on the
tells
show.
you. I say you.
And no one tells you.
No one tells you. It just
You have
happens
to
one
take your
day.
own
You're like,
cues.
oh,
Well, because I say I was the young computer guy, and now I'm on one show. Now I'm the guy who people call Mr. Stark, and I was like, oh, that's a different responsibility.
Yeah. It is.
And again, it's not in the script, and someday you just have to have that awareness at one point, and then you shift into what this role is.
And I think that's fun.
Yeah.
I think that's real fun.
I do too.
you talked about the friendships you made on All My Children, and I think also another interview that I heard you give, that you talked about how you didn't have friendships and you didn't hold on to friends when you were younger, maybe because you moved around. Was there something that happened where you were like, looked around and thought, I need to really work on my friendships? It's hard, I find. I don't have any balance. It's hard to find time for friendships when we are learning lines at
Life
night.
and
The time that you would
family
go out and socialize,
Yeah.
you actually, well, for me, I need to study because I don't memorize as
So
well. as
I'm
others.
older than you guys, and among the things that I look at is the rest of my life. And whereas and everything I read, everywhere is social connection.
Yes.
Social connection. Keep the brain alive. Keep your heart alive. Keep your sense of belonging alive. And I agree with you. It is difficult to make that all happen. Add to that, I was a military brat. And whenever I hear people talk about, we've known each other since second grade, I don't know anything about that. I don't have any friends from junior high school. I don't have, I have 2 friends from high school who I haven't been very good at staying in touch with them because for most of my childhood, every 2 years, my parents would say, get your toys, here we go, we're moving. And I'd go start a whole new thing. And, as that adds up to when you get to 9th grade and you've moved 8 times in that many, in that short a life, I didn't make friendships that last. I had plenty of friends, but they weren't friendships that I invested in long term and stayed in touch. And these are special, Peter. They're not special. I had some of them 2 years ago, and we had to leave. And the military upbringing was probably contributed to that a lot.
Yeah.
So what was the moment where you said, I'm going to start to really work on my friendships? And
I'll tell you several of them, but one of them, Greg was part of, my 60th birthday.
60th or
55? I don't know. It was some a big birthday, and I said, I used to have all these people from all my children to my home. And I've never had anybody to my home, and now we're living in this apartment near work and have a home much further away, so that's harder. So we got a room in a restaurant and invited a bunch of the people that I like best from my show, and Greg and Rob were there, and it was
Republic, I think. Was the
Republic.
restaurant.
Yeah, it was great. But that was a real.
So it's never too late.
That was
That's what you're saying.
It's never too late. It's
Yeah.
never too late. Those friendships are important, and you don't get, and I think the nature of soaps is they're always going to be here.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Until they're not.
Until they're not. Yeah, that's right.
Well, this is a good segue. One of your longstanding friendships is with Bryan Cranston from your New York soap days. You were on All My Children. He was on Loving, and it's through your friendship with him and through him your relationship with Vince Gilligan that you just got to do Pluribus.
Yeah.
How's that going?
That's been a really fun turn.
Yeah.
So Bryan and I have known each other for 43 years, and I met him. He was on Loving, and I was on All My Children, and we have been friends for a really long time. Mary Ellen and his wife Robin Dearden are very, very close friends, and truly are in charge of our friendship. Because Bryan has the same problem I have, just maintaining long-term friends. So you got to do the work. We have wives that help make it all happen. We vacation together. We do lots of things together, and we met Vince Gilligan and his wife Holly many years ago now, and have done lots of things with them and traveled with them. And Vince flies helicopters, and so we've been up in his helicopter.
How fun.
And all of that. Anyway, I got this email from Vince one day saying, "Hey, I got this thing I'm doing. Would you be interested in just reading the script, seeing if you're interested?" And I said, sure. And it was a lark. It was a thing I did in Albuquerque in April of 2024, and I had fun. It was great. And when this juggernaut started coming out a month ago with billboards and lots of stuff, and then the promos came out for the show, and it looked like I was her co-star. It was absolutely crazy.
Did you do more than the one episode? Because I
did
saw
one episode.
Well, I saw that episode.
Yeah.
You're so great.
Yeah.
Wow, thanks. What I liked about it...
you are. You had humor in it. And
yeah, what I liked about it was there was...
You could do it so many different ways.
This woman has been through the apocalypse.
Yes.
And she suddenly is in her own home, turns on the television and finds me there, just a little too friendly.
Yeah.
Just a bit too friendly.
Yeah.
And
it was so great though. You're like waiting and you drink some water. I was like, was that his idea?
yeah, it was. It was.
Just like, it was so...
we got to do a few takes of that.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
And the difficulty was it was the last 7 pages of the episode.
Right.
And it was I was
you were.
yakking up a storm, and we could only do it beginning to end.
Why?
I'll explain it to you. She's in her living room on a set. The cameras are behind her. I'm on the television.
Okay.
It's the only way this works. If you can see me on the television while she's talking to me. So I have to simultaneously be in front of a camera on another set, another building, actually. You know, we could walk back and forth, but I was there talking to a camera. I don't know what you've done as actors. I've done a lot of different things, but I have usually worked with people. Yeah. And I am talking to someone and clearly getting a reaction out of her and trying to calm her and everything, but I'm talking to a camera.
So you didn't get to hear her response?
I had a bud in my ear. She had my voice in her ear, but she could see it on television.
On the TV. So, and then you would start a take and you'd have to run through the whole thing.
That's really interesting.
All the way through 7 pages.
Wow.
7 pages. Probably about 15 times.
15 times.
But you said she was lovely. She wanted to run lines. Which is great.
A lovely human being. And so committed.
And the lift she has to do.
The things she has to do on that show.
She was very good. I only saw the first episode, and she was so good at playing that. It just was so believable.
We're still talking about Ray Seahorn.
Yes,
is
Ray
her
Seahorn.
name.
Ray
and
Seahorn,
she was on Better Call Saul, and Vince
this
always
is
loved
Pluribus
writing
on
for
Apple
her.
TV. Where
Yes,
you can watch that,
it was so. Anyway, this fun lark. My favorite part of the story. I live in Hancock Park, and heading up Vine toward the 101, there were 2 big billboards with her screaming at the world, yellow background, Ray screaming, yellow background, Ray screaming. A little further down Vine, and you could see the Hollywood sign over it when I first saw it. There was a big yellow thing with just a few words on it saying, "We're sorry we upset you, Carol." It was my line. It was in giant, bold letters on a billboard.
What a
it was,
moment.
This
What
crazy.
does that feel like after doing a soap for so many years, and you go and you?
Well, again, I've been on the #1 show in the country for all 36 of those years, and it's nothing like this. I have heard from every aspect of my life, every relative I have. I just watched Pluribus. What the? Yeah. It's very, very big.
Do you think
it's
they'll bring
actually
you back?
bigger than Daytime.
Yeah.
do you think they'll bring you back, or if they do another season?
I don't anticipate that. And
you know what occurs to me though? Peter has a very specific way of memorizing lines where, correct me if I'm wrong, don't you read... Do you still do this?
Yeah.
Where you read the other character's lines into a...
Dictaphone.
Into a dictaphone.
Dictaphone.
And then in the car...
with some space for my lines.
So
and I read them very flat. I have no idea how you're going to say it, so I just say your words. And I can drive in a car.
That's how I try to memorize my lines.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Without attaching any emotion to it until I
try to
know
learn your lines with no emotion.
I try.
Oh, that's interesting.
I learn my lines without attaching anything to it, because then...
I don't know what I do. I couldn't put a word.
Yeah,
that's true. I couldn't.
But
So if Jack's having a
read
fit, a lot of people have seen me screaming in my car, just yelling at the world.
You said it's gotten harder to memorize. It's gotten harder for me as I've gotten older, just to like. You just go, oh shit, here we go. Let's see if I know it.
Can I also say on our show, a new phenomenon has happened in the last 2 years. There used to be 15 characters in an episode.
Oh yeah.
We're down to like 7 or 8.
In one episode.
And that means they have to do all the talking.
Yeah.
7 or 8 people have to do all the dialogue.
Yep.
And Jack, I've come to believe he has limited listening skills. My gosh, he talks.
Yeah.
He talks.
There
and
are
talks
characters
and
on
talks.
We have
shows
that in
where
common.
There are,
there-
yeah, that's
there
me,
are.
that's me.
The girl
There-
that plays my daughter, if I have scenes with her, I'm like, oh, thank God, because she just talks.
Yeah,
With
they,
all
ma-
the
they make jokes about me, and Peter's gonna just talk for a while, and
With all due respect to Deidre Hall, whom I'm quite fond of, she is my therapist on the show. So it is.
oh, poor dude.
She's like, and then what happened? And I'm like, okay, I'll tell you. Another whole page, And so
Yeah. So you know
I
where I've
feel your
been,
pain.
and
But performance aside, I think what I was getting at is that you do have the experience of somewhat being by yourself, which you were in that scene, right? Because she's not with you.
Yes.
And so
yes,
I wonder if that helped you in any way.
That did help. I learned the lines speaking to my own voice, so it was. But again, Ray had every opportunity to say, "Hey, you want to run these? You want to do this? Star of the show. It's her show.
Wow.
Oh, you want to do them again?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And I heard you once say that you do the acting for free. It's the memorizing and the staying fit that you get paid for. Which I
Exactly
think
right.
is so brilliant. It's so
Exactly.
it is so true.
I used to say,
It's so
I used to say, Young and the Restless wants me to be Jack Abbott. And then they want me to still look like Jack Abbott. And now they want me to just remember your lines, but it's
It's a lot.
Yeah, it is. Listen, and I like the challenge, and unfortunately, I have made enough noise about people who don't know their lines and how they're holding the day up that I better know my lines. Yeah, should have kept my mouth shut.
Yeah.
Also, I think a responsibility comes with that too. The better you know your lines, the more they give you, the more they know that you can handle that workload.
Yeah, I worry if I'm my own worst enemy that way. That oh, good, he can do that. So
We have Noel Maxim has a sign. Noel Maxim is our executive producer,
sure. No.
And he has a sign right outside of his little station on set that says "Ask for time," and it almost feels like a joke. Like, do I have 10 seconds? Can I have 15? What are we talking?
Ask for time. That's great.
But it is because I think we do get into the rhythm of moving so fast that he's giving us the
You've
space.
been in my dressing room. I have a thing that's been in every dressing room I've ever worked in as an actor in theater and in soap operas, and it's the glass is broken on it, and it says, "When you are not practicing, remember someone somewhere is practicing, and when you meet him, he will win." And I've always kind of approached, I want to be the guy out there that really, really knows his stuff.
Well, if I remember correctly, it's the beginning of your career, right? Or even before your professional career, where you were doing that production and someone else had done it, in your opinion, better, but you won the award.
Yeah, wow, that goes way back. That's high school.
Yeah, so
that's high school. Yeah, I saw somebody do a performance, and in college I had an opportunity to do that play. That guy was so good. I'm going to get that role. I want to be as good as that guy. I'm going to be better than that guy. I'd never see him again in my life, but I was terribly competitive that way.
Is there anything else you want to do? I mean, do you want to write a book? Do you want
to? No,
is there anything that
no. Teach maybe one day, but that would not be a real formal thing. I always kind of wish the show would send me into the dressing room of a new character. Send Peter in to talk to her.
He said you've been kind of like a mentor. You were a mentor to him.
I'm glad that this is such a perfect segue, because I don't know if you realize how much you already do that. And I'm not the only slightly younger than you actor who has learned so much from you. And we all speak about you as the person to whom we look toward. I don't even just mean at work. You are just so kind, and you are a gentleman, and I have learned so much about being a dad, being a partner, being a coworker from you. So you're already doing that. I adore you. I truly do.
Feel wonderful. Well, I adore you. We're only given one shot. We're only given one go around and let's figure out a way to do it really well.
Yeah.
That's kind of how that's kind of how I want to live my life.
Yeah. I said to Rebecca earlier, I said, within a couple of years, I think I am your age that you were when we first met.
Yeah.
And having said everything I just said, I said, I think I need to take on more of that role.
Yeah.
And be, because it never ever felt like finger pointing or you never gave lectures or told us how to behave. We just watched you. And so I'm going to just be more aware. Not that I have bad behavior on set.
I think it's a hard thing to walk into. It's a hard thing to start. I tell this story all the time. Billy Miller was on our show. May he rest in peace. He played my brother Billy, and when he first started, I said, "Hey, look, I want you to understand this. I don't know what they've told you. Jack has looked out for you your entire life. Then when you really mess things up here, he sent you to Hong Kong. A college friend looked out for you, and before Jack knew it, you were sleeping with his wife. Then you wrapped your car around a telephone pole in Hong Kong, and I had to come and get you." He said, "My God, they didn't tell me any of that stuff." And I said, "No, I just made it up." But that's who Billy is. That's who Billy is. No matter how much Jack tries to do for him, Billy, for some reason, needs to
mess it up.
And I didn't need to do that, but boy, he got it right away. Yeah. And they don't do that on these shows. They just say, they hope you guess it right. Hey, she guessed right. Oh, good. Yeah, she's turning out pretty good. Well, you could have helped her a little bit. You could have, particularly when you're replacing somebody.
No shit.
Yeah. And so I've been there long enough that I do a bit of that. Yeah. So
I would have really appreciated that. Even having done it for so long, right?
Yeah.
I'm not 20, but I come in and I want to get the I have an idea in my head. I have what Brad's told me, but it would be nice for someone who's played with the character for so long to say, "This is who you are."
There's a director named Kathy Foster who's directing at your show now.
Yeah.
And Kathy Foster was a young director and did homework like crazy, came in so prepared, she was so good. And she came up to me one day and kind of pushed the cameras out of the way and came to whisper to me, "Everything you just did seems fully supported. You really thought it through and everything. If you play it that way, I can't root for you, and it's critical that I root for you."
What a note.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to do that for the actors on my show. I want to do Kathy Foster. I want to go to people and say, if you play it that way, we can't root for you. I know your character's angry. Find the heart in it. Find the heart. There's pain in here somewhere in all this anger. Find some of the pain. And leave their dressing room. And so every once in a while I do.
She still does that.
She still does that. Yeah, I got to say, it was fantastic. It was, here's the license to go be brilliant.
We go so fast now. It's so different than what it was, and to have moments like that with anybody.
Yeah.
With a mentor or someone.
They
who's
just
been
don't
doing
have
it for a long
time to do that.
Right. In that it matters. It really does matter.
Yeah.
I think big and small. As you're saying all that, I think I have the great fortune of getting to work on the regular with Emily O'Brien again.
Yeah.
And we know what the foundation of the relationship is, but it's not. We've had moments where it's been wrought, but even the fun stuff, right? About like if there's an aside about an experience we had in Philadelphia 20 years ago, I say, what did we do? And we'll make up a whole story about this club we were at,
good,
just so that when we get to that line, there's a twinkle. It's just that.
That's the thing we know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Peter, I
she's
adore
great.
you. As you know, I could talk to you for another
Oh my
5
God.
hours.
This is so much fun. I got to hang out with Rebecca Budig.
I mean, Peter, I want to work with you.
I've known about you for a lot of years.
I've known about
Yeah.
you for a lot of years.
Did you ever have an experience before you all moved? Did you ever see each other in the hallway at Television City?
Oh, yeah,
but
we did that.
also,
We did that, yes.
he went to a dinner that David Canary had. I think I must have been
went to
nominated
a
or something.
few
I
of
think he
those. You were-
invited
yeah.
me to that, and I got to see Peter. But of course,
Yeah.
from from across the room,
yeah.
didn't get to really have a chat.
Yeah, but I knew exactly who she was.
Well, I'm so glad that we
Thank you so
got
much.
to spend time together because you're amazing, and I'm
Thank you for inviting me.
All right.
I've wanted to do this for a while.
Great.
Everybody said, "Wait, I said they're doing a podcast. A show. I'll do that in a minute." Yeah,
Great. Well, come back and see us again. Hopefully,
I
we'll get to
will.
do more
I
of
will
them.
absolutely do that. Love you both.
Love you back. So
Terrific.
you can watch our friend here every day on The Young and the Restless on CBS or on Paramount Plus. And if you've missed any episodes of Soapy, you can watch us on the CBS YouTube channel. You can listen to us on the Odyssey app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And we will catch you guys next time.